This is Rutland Water, 23 miles round, 3.5 miles from end to end, and 100 feet deep. It's the host of many a fishing adventure, but it's particularly famous as the home of some of the biggest fly fishing competitions in Britain. Rutland is where huge internationals and club competitions are held, and this weekend it was hosting one of the biggest, the Airflo Open Championship.
This is the one. If you win this, you can tell all your peers you were the best team in Britain, and that's kind of what all these guys are trying to prove, you know. So
next to an international, this is it. I think representing your country in international adds that little spice. But this is the blue ribbon event. This is the one that every club wants to get into. You know,
every fish counts. You know, losing a fish is really not an option.
Well, it is the best of the best that are here, isn't it? It's one of the biggest competitions now in the country, and all the good anglers, top anglers in the country are here.
There were 21 teams who made it through to this year's final, held over 2 days. Each team is made up of 6 members. The anglers are drawn in pairs against anglers from opposing teams on both days. The match is fished to lock-style rules. So one thing about lock-style fly fishing, it's actually the oldest form of competition fishing anywhere in the world. It was the very first match actually between England and Scotland in the late 1800s. This competition, you know, has been going since 1982. And if you're anybody in lock-style fly fishing, you've fished this and you've probably competed and been in the top few places. These guys really care about what they're doing and they really know their stuff. Tradition is a central part of this sport. Those links to the anglers of a bygone era remain intact, as did the connection with taking fish for the table. This was a catch and kill match. The anglers' aim was to catch 8 fish as quickly as they could inside the competition fishing time, from 10 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon. There was the added incentive to finish quickly too. If you caught your bag of 8 fish before the end of the competition hours, you also got a time bonus for finishing early, up to £2 per hour. It soon became clear weather conditions would play a huge part in the match. Overnight rain had put the fish down into deeper water in places, and high winds made presenting traditional, lock-style weightless flies tricky for all but the very best casters. Helpful if, like Hal Morgan of the Ospreys team, you were once world fly casting champion. Lock style means while you can use your engine to get you to a likely looking spot, you can't fish under motor power. Instead, you're pushed around by the wind. The boat's controlled using a drogue, which is like an underwater parachute. It slows the drift down and helps you to keep in the right place for the maximum amount of time. The 126 anglers caught 321 rainbow trout on the first day. That was a rod average of 2.55 fish per angler. Only 5 people in the entire field managed to catch their 8 fish limit, and 3 of them came from the same team, Fulling Mill Team Tequila. This was turning into a redemption story. 12 months ago, in the biggest match of their lives, where 870 fish were caught, they missed out on glory by the slimmest of margins. Well, it's the morning of the second day of the Airflo Open Championships here at Rutland Water. A very different day actually, grey skies overhead and lots of potential to come. And the team at the top of the pile, Fulling Mill Team Tequila, are the team that finished second last year by 3/4 of an ounce. So, what happened to them 12 months ago? They had a fantastic first day and it all fell apart on the second day. The big question out here on the water is that going to happen to them again? The Day 2 boat draw created a fascinating matchup between Matt Griffiths of Team Tequila in first and Gareth Dixon of the Welsh Flyhawks second overall in boat 54. With the weather making things tricky as the wind got up again, their skill in manoeuvring boats around an area at Rutland called Ernie's Point was to pay dividends. Amazingly, not one single angler caught their 8 fish limit on the second day. Top rod was England international Phil Dixon with 6 fish, closely followed by his team captain Rob Edmonds with 5. One big question though, as the anglers weighed their catches, how much longer would the tradition of killing the entire bag remain? Like many game angling competitions, there's been discussion about moving towards catch and release to help maintain healthy fish stocks. The organisers were looking into changing the rules to allow anglers to take just a couple of trout, returning the rest to fight another day. A poll among the competitors, however, produced a surprise result: that the anglers do want an 8-fish kill to remain in place for next year's competition. They said it guarantees fairness at the weigh-in and retains the all-important tradition of providing food for the table.
This one has always been traditional 8-fish kill. Most, if not all, have gone to a form of full release or kill 2, 3 or 4 and then release. I like this to be an 8-fish kill. Helps us target bigger fish.
Catch and release is fantastic if it's done properly. People have got to look after the fish, unhook them in the net over the side of the boat, make sure they're recovered, put them back, no problem. But also it is important there's a turnover of fish in the fishery. You can't just have every fish go back. So I think a mixture of the two is the best solution.
It's coming straight out of the water, isn't it? I'm collecting it now and it'll be on the table sometime tomorrow for a lot of people. I take it back to retail outlets where it's all cleaned up, processed or whatever we need to do with it. So yeah, I feel it's very important.
But what about the winners? Fulling Mill Team Tequila held on to their lead and at the gala dinner at last got hold of the trophy and the title.